Diet. One man's food is another man's poison. So diet plays an important role in Ayurveda. According to Ayurveda, nourishment starts first in the plasma, second in the blood, third in the muscles, and fourth it passes to the fat, that is for lubrication, and then to the bones and cartilage, and seventh it is the semen and the ovum. So every tissue in the body is developed from the food we eat. So Ayurveda has a detailed and individual knowledge how diet can be changed so as to balance the three doshas considering the climate, the body type, and also the agni. No matter how good your food is, as long as your agni is not powerful, uh, it will not digest the food, and hence ama is formed, which leads to diseases. So as to increase and normalize the digestive power, Ayurveda recommends the Peyadikrama, which actually starts with Yusha, that is green gram porridge water, and then it is the rice soup, etc. Diet should be regularly taken into account the 7 factors and should take all 6 rasas, that is taste, in order to prevent any type of malnutrition. The 7 factors, the first one is the natural quality and property of the food. The natural quality, which means the heaviness and lightness of the food, or the cold and hot potency. Example, when you come to meat and the wheat, they are heavy and it's very hard to digest. But when it comes to gruels, that's porridge, it's very easy to digest. Then second is the combination. Some combinations are healthy, some combinations are unhealthy. For example, honey with tribala is very good for kava person. Buttermilk when mixed with ginger, it's very good to increase the digestion. And the unhealthy combinations are like milk combined with fruits, milk with meat of any kind, hot drinks after alcohol, yogurt or honey, hot and cold substance together, again cold water after a meal, chicken with yogurt, they are all unhealthy combinations which we should not follow. Then the third one is the processing, where some foods are processed in its inherent qualities actually changes. Example, rice, which is actually very heavy in nature and hard to digest, but when processed and cooked, it's very light and it increases the digestive power when taken as porridge. And then fourth one is again, it's a quantity, that's matra. It refers to the quantity of food which we can take at a time. This decision actually depends on the nature of the food, its quality, etc. Heavy foods are taken in lesser quantity and lighter foods in little more than the heavier quantity. And then the fifth one is the place. It refers to the region in which it is grown or where the person is living. For example, dates, which is grown in deserts, are basically vata predominant, and rice, which is grown in a marshy area, water body area, it is actually more of kava predominant food. Then the sixth one is the season, that's the kala. It denotes time to intake and digestion of the food. A person should take a meal only when he is hungry. Lunch time should be around 12 o'clock and 1 o'clock because this coincides with the peak pitta period, which is responsible for the digestion of the food. The lunch actually should be taken in a larger quantity, but when it comes to dinner, it should be a lighter food. And then next, it's a season of the year, that is winter and rainy season. During winter and rainy season, you can have food which is predominant in sweet, sour, and salt taste. And when it is spring, it is bitter, astringent, and pungent food, which is more effective for the body. And when it's summer, of course, it is our vada is in its rise, so our body needs more of sweet food. And in autumn, it is better to have sweet, bitter, and astringent food. Then again, when it's time of the day for using certain food, example, curd and yogurt should not be taken at night. They should be taken only during daytime. Then is the seventh factor, how you use the food, procedure to how we eat, or how we should prepare to eat the food which you process. That is, before going to take the food, first you have to take a bath or at least wash your hand, feet, and face. Sit in a clean area, concentrate on the food you eat, and avoid watching TV or any type of conversation during eating. See that all the six tastes are present in the menu, which is very important, so that it doesn't cause any malnutrition. Then food should be warm, water should be taken along with the food. Again, a lukewarm water is much effective. Then avoid bathing or swimming or any type of exercise immediately after the food, after a meal. You should eat in a moderate speed. Should not eat your food in a hurry or very slow. Then one of the main substance in the food is the fibers. Fiber-rich diet plays a very big role in preventing many diseases. Vegetables are actually a rich source of fibers. Low fiber diseases causes some metabolic disorders like obesity, diabetes, etc., and cardiovascular diseases like hypertension, and other diseases like multiple sclerosis, and problems like constipation and gastritis. Another important factor in food is life force or prana. Every food that we have has prana in it. Naturally grown and fresh food is full of prana, while frozen and inorganic or artificially grown food is low in prana. And canned food or refrigerated food for a long time is completely without any prana. Freshly cooked and served food is high in prana, cooked in a clear and sacred area. It's mostly in our home, in our own kitchen. It's the best food we can have. And Ayurveda emphasizes on one more thing, that is about Satmya. Is also an important principle in Ayurveda. Satmya means actually habituation. Our body is used to certain type of food, and you must never make an attempt to change our diet suddenly from a non-vegetarian to a vegetarian, or an unhealthy food to a healthy food. The sudden jump can cause us many disorders in our body. Even if you want to change from bad quality to good quality, it must be done in a step-by-step manner, so that our body does not feel the sudden shake, and we remain a healthy person.